Dr. Zakir, can you explain to the viewers some of the etiquettes of reading and reciting the glorious Quran?
There are various etiquettes of reading and reciting the glorious Quran. The first is that when we recite the Quran, it should be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to seek His blessings. Number two, it's preferable that a person is pure, in taharat, he's in wudu. And third, the place where he is keeping the Quran or reciting the Quran should be clean. Number four, the time should be the best chosen time. Number five, it should be, if you're reading the Quran, preferably the direction should be towards the Qibla. Preferably, it's not a must. Number six, your intention and your concentration should be on the Quran and you should concentrate while reading the Quran. Number seven, it should be in tartil, in slow rhythmic way. Number eight, the tajweed should be correct, the makharij, the pronunciation should be good. Number nine, it should be with humility. When you're reading and reciting, it should be with humility and humbleness. Number 10, when you're reciting the Quran and reading the Quran, and if there's any verse talking about the wrath or talking about the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should seek His protection. Next, if you read any verse talking about the blessings and paradise, you should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you blessings and ask for His mercy. And if you're reading the Quran, and if any verse known as the sajda talawat, verse in where you have to do sajda, at that time you should stop reading and do the sajda as soon as possible. Furthermore, some verses, it's preferable to repeat the verses as many times as possible. And lastly, you should try and remember do hifz of as much portion of the Quran as you can. And one important thing which is rather a fard, all the others are preferred, is that before reading the Quran, you should seek refuge from Satan, the accursed, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah says in the Quran in Surah Nahl, chapter number 16, verse number 98, that before reading the Quran, say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. And when you are reciting any surah from the beginning, you should recite the first verse or the beginning of it, that is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Because every surah of the Quran begins with the formula Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, except for Surah Tawbah, chapter number 9.